ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another live stream. Now, we are doing an impromptu special event live stream because, of course, we have the man who can from Jazz Inc., aka Yost. Thank you for joining me on this stream, sir. First of all, how are you doing?
Good. I'm hearing double with a lot of delay.
I'm okay on my end.
Let me make sure.
How are you going technically wise?
Let me see. It doesn't sound. I can't hear. Can you still hear it? Hold on.
I apologize, ladies and gents, if you're hearing double. We're trying to work it out.
Yeah.
Let us know in the chat if y'all are having any audio issues.
Right.
Hopefully it will resolve itself. Let me just check my settings. I am.
How's that now?
Good. Yeah, you're all good to me.
All right. Can you still hear it?
Yost, are you good? You're on. How are you going now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear? Everything good?
Yeah, I'm hearing it 3 times now. It's crazy.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh. Maybe if you want to leave and then rejoin Yost, and then we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Well, we also have Lyell, of course, 1/6 scale man, who managed to make this crazy time slot work. So a huge thank you to you, sir, for making this possible. Because I mean, you and I are both fans of Jazz Inc., and to have the man behind the company on the stream is pretty badass. So I'm glad that you and I get to ask questions and share this stream. Hopefully we can work out the technical side of things. But don't worry, everyone in the chat, he will be back in just a second. But let's have a look who is in the chat. Will. Will is here. Will, thank you for joining. We'll be seeing you in what? 12 hours? We'll be seeing you in the next stream. For everyone watching this stream, there will be another stream at our usual time slot coming up, just as normal, which is, I think, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I think. I apologize. For us in Australia, it's 10 a.m., so I apologize. Yost, you're back. How is the audio for you now?
Good. I've just reset everything. I was going crazy. I was hearing it 3 times. So
is it better? It's better now.
Yeah, it's good. It's all good.
Okay, good. Excellent. Well, I'm glad we managed to solve that technical difficulty because we have a lot of people in the chat. We already have 86 people, so we're almost at 100. A huge thank you to everyone who has already joined right off the bat. I know it's early, but this is going to be a blast. We've got a ton to discuss, some awesome products. We're going to be talking all things DC. Now, recently there hasn't been a lot of love from Hot Toys for DC, but there is a lot of love from Jazz Inc. with DC because they have been working on a little bit of a special project behind the scenes. Yost, I'm going to hand it over to you. Tell the people what you've been doing, what you've been working on, and what's happened recently in the world of Jazz Inc.
Well, it's been quite a roller coaster ever since March, which is when talks with DC and Warner Brothers started. Based on the stuff they've seen from us, they love what we're doing, and well, I'm very happy to announce that the 6 scale and 12 scale community now has a new officially licensed company from Warner Brothers and DC. It's us!
Yes.
So it's been crazy, but I'm thinking it was a lot with the release the Snyder Cut stuff, where they saw if we listen to the fans, it's gonna work out. And we're a fan-based community, as you guys know, and we've been granted the license to do the stuff our way now, where the collector gets a voice, and as a group, we decide what we make, and you have some of the upcoming stuff queued for later. I believe that was another democratic decision. And then I go to Warner and say, okay, we want to make this now. And then we go through the entire process.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I know that I'm personally very excited to discuss because I was sent some pictures by Yost before this stream, so we do have some high-res pics of stuff that is out or is being worked on at the moment, and one that I personally am very excited about because it's near and dear to my heart being a kid of the 90s, so we'll get to that. But basically, I mean, this is a huge win for fans of DC and for collectors of all sorts, because that means that companies like Warner Brothers actually do care about what you have to say. And this is pure evidence of that. I mean, to be able to have a company that was making stuff previously just for the fans to now be able to officially do it as a licensed company and be able to dip their toes in the water. We were just discussing about some other Batman stuff that might potentially happen that we'll save for the end of the stream because it's very, very exciting. But it opens a whole new doorway to stuff that before this may not have been possible because reference was lacking and the film's potentially not been released yet, and there's not high-res scans of the 3D models of the vehicles, all of that sort of stuff that initially when you say, oh, why don't you just make this? It doesn't really, it's not as easy as that, right? There's a lot more that goes in behind the scenes. So I wanted to specifically ask you on that topic, something that's coming out hopefully soon that I'm very excited about is the 66 Batmobile. I'm a huge fan of 66 Batman. I used to watch it with my dad when I was a kid. Obviously, I was born in the 90s, so I wasn't exposed to Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin when I was young. But I did watch the reruns that they used to play on TV with my dad, and we had a great time watching it. He's also a Batman fan. He also owns one of your Batmobiles, which is a nice thing that we share in common. We have our own Batmobiles. So can you tell us a little bit about what the process is currently on the 1966 Batmobile? How's it going? I'll bring up some pics that you sent me as well, just so the people can see what this thing looks like, because it looks incredible.
So thanks.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, man, you know what? I was born in 74, grew up in the 80s, so 89 Batman is my jam.
I love it too.
Yes.
It used to be, for me, that's the quintessential Batman thing. But having worked on this design with a lot of fans and specialists for 18 months now to get this just pretty.
Right. It's so pretty.
Yes.
It is quickly becoming... Well, if you see the thing in person, this thing is almost it's between 3 and 4 feet, so close to a meter. It is.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty big. Yep.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. So and the thing is, you touched upon this that Warner Brothers is listening. What's the process? Well, one of the things that I found out having to try to make this stuff come to life and make it a reality is we got a very bare bones operation here. I mean, it's me, my dad, my wife is in part-time, the boys helping, and now we have Kiara helping, and of course we have Derek in the group, but that's it. So like 3 FTE. And so for us, when it comes to making this stuff, we don't have to do hundreds or probably realistically thousands, sometimes tens of thousands like Hot Toys has to do, which is, I'm very sure, one of the reasons why there are a number of things they never did beyond maybe a prototype stage, or not even that, because I've been talking to another company for a different scale. I can't say too much about that now, but if I hear about the costs, so if I hear about the costs that they were talking about when they looked into this versus what we do, I understand why they can't do what we do,
because they want to immediately scale up, right? Like they're talking tens of thousands of units potentially. So then the cost gets completely out of hand. It grows exponentially as the demand grows, which means that maybe they cost themselves out. Whereas, like you're saying, Yost, if I'm not mistaken, that when it's done in a fan-based sort of way, it becomes, it becomes a smaller production run, which means that costs go down because you're not having to make tens of thousands of 1/6 scale Batmobiles, which I can't even imagine the amount of work that would go into creating a production. It would basically be like an actual car production line building these massive vehicles at that scale, right?
Yeah, and so there's a couple of things to consider there. First of all, the number I heard for that other scale Batmobile for the molds and tooling alone was $500,000.
Whoa.
Mm.
What if it didn't sell? I mean,
that's the gamble, right?
That's a loss.
That's the gamble.
Right
so
there.
I understand why if you hear those kinds of numbers, you're let's play it safe and let's not do that. So this is what I've heard. Anyway, and so for us, because we don't have any overhead, we don't have a big building, and we don't have so the costs are low. That means that in our case, around 80% of what you're paying goes straight into the product and now the licensing. So it's that kind of company that enables us, or the way of running the business that enables us to do this in much lower numbers and still make it viable. So for this project, we've been working with the group on this design since, like I said, it's about 18 months in progress now. And because it was before my time, when I started this, naively, I thought, let's make the 1966 Batmobile. Well,
that'll be easy.
But there's no the 1966 Batmobile. There were 6 or 7 cars. There are 6 or 7 cars in the show. For every episode that they needed a new button, they just added it. Then the one that was that's in the museum was created after the show, and it has so many differences. So many differences.
I think you'll find they'll do that a lot. They'll do that with the 1989 Batmobile, for instance. There are a ton of different hero versions of that car. There's one at Warner Brothers Movie World in the Gold Coast. That one is on display there, but they also shipped that around Australia. Like they had a massive exhibition for DC Films at the Australian Centre for the Moving Image, and they shipped this car over to Melbourne, and they had it there. But that one is completely different to the one that they used on film because it's got this super high gloss, slick paint job, and anyone knows that the car that they used on film was a satin finish. So there are like 50 different versions, right? Like, what on earth? How did you even tackle that?
Well, part of it is just democratic vote, and I'm the boss in the end and say this is what we're making. But the thing that we loved was what the community asked for was, can we just do the initial car, not the one that's been made a ton of times, and just concentrate on the one that you saw in the first few episodes. And so and then we talked to a lot of specialists. I mean, of course, Eric from 1966batmobile.com, Mark Raytop from Fiberglass Freaks. He has the official license to make the full scale ones. John Alfred Pennyworth and Mike Stuhlberg, and you'll find them on the packaging. There's a lot of people who weighed in on this, and there's tons and tons of reference materials. And we went so far as to look at the correct tire thread and I kid you not. And the correct air tubes coming out of the rims.
Wow.
There were we're talking like Nerdville level of detail.
But that's where we live, right?
Well, the thing is with 3D engineering, if you're making a 2D drawing and you want to adjust something, it's pretty easy. But in 3D world, that it's not. So many times I just had to completely scrap the model or parts of the model and start from scratch.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll get into that for another model later on.
Wow. This piece is just, I mean, pure nostalgia. I mean, born in 73, like right around the corner from you. You know, just watching each and every episode. Tune in next time. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a beautiful piece. And I mean, and even even looking at this model, it looks like even you guys, I mean, down to the finest detail, even inside, like with the dash, everything. Like it's simply amazing, man.
And for the DX, we're looking into doing leather seats. And what you're seeing here is the prototype. And since then we've made a bunch of changes, so the rims aren't completely accurate. They're accurate for later, but not for the period we're looking at. So for the Hot Wheels Elite, those rims were on there, but they're not correct. So the rims have been changed. The antlers have been changed. We went down on the chrome profile a little bit. And all the parts that you see that are silver colored now, they're going to be actually chromed for the real
beautiful thing. Oh yes, this thing is going to be I find there are two categories of stuff that's made in 1/6 scale. There's stuff that I would consider toyetic, which is it has a lot of bling and a lot of flash, like something like the Batman Forever Batmobile. That's very toyetic. And then you have things in the other category that's just very classy. And I think that this right here is super classy. I mean, you can have this. This is one of those pieces that you can have as your only Batman 66 display piece with Batman and Robin sitting inside or standing right alongside it like we had in the first picture. And I don't think anybody would question that if that's in your man cave, because it's just straight up classy. Like it looks
it's
like
nostalgia, bro. Like you can't go wrong with
it
at all.
Exactly.
You can't.
Yeah,
it's
the fun
like
thing is, if I got this prototype, I've had it for a couple of months. It's sitting next to the BVS Batmobile in both scales and some other stuff. How do we call this? The noobs? No, what's the word? Like my wife, who have no idea.
Your average. We'll say your average moviegoer. Or your average collector.
Like my wife and her friends. They immediately hone in on that car.
Because it's one of those things that's it's classic, right? No, if you don't know Batman, you know that car. Like even.
You definitely know it. Like this was a chick magnet for Adam West. So just imagine how it would be basically in your home, especially if you have it displayed. You can't go wrong.
It's one of those.
You invite them over. You invite a girl over. Be like, hey, you want to see my Batmobile? Like it just makes absolute sense.
It's one of those that you're allowed to put in the living room, where you're not allowed to put anything else collectible in the living room. But this car, this car right here, you get to put in the living room because it's pure class. It's a beautiful piece. I personally cannot wait to see it in person. I want to pop Batman in there. I want to pop Robin in there. I'm hoping that someday Hot Toys delivers on their promise to also make the Joker, and then we can have that'll be it. Just 3 figures in the line, and I'll be happy. Rog H sends in a super sticker of a massive thumbs up. So Rog H, thank you, sir, for your super sticker. 66 Batmobile. Do we have a timeline, Yost, on how the production is going? Any stumbles that you've had and how you've overcome, and what's going to happen next?
Yeah, so the first version we made like over a year ago, and we had a lot of finish issues. This is actually V2. We were happy with the general shape, and like I said, we did some tweaks on that just improved accuracy. And chicks dig the car indeed. So that's good. For the final production version, I want to add magnets to the car so that they
to the doors. Oh yes.
So the doors. So that because if you have that red stripe going on top, if it's even a little off, you see that, and I'm hoping that magnets can fix that. Of course, we're working on the custom electronics with the exact patterns that all the lights should be blinking at for the DX version. Now, the thing to understand is, even though we don't have $500,000 in tooling and molds, it's still a huge cost. So we had to wait. We've done everything we can up until this point, but we had to wait for Warner's approval, because if we do the tooling and the molds, and Warner says, yeah, it's nice, but we want that different.
We want this.
We can just we can scrap. It's burning a big pile of cash. So that means the release has to be postponed until we can start on the tooling, which starts next week.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Q1 next year now for this one, because we're basically ready. But the tooling is so complex that we had to design. It'll take 3 to 4 months to complete. So imagine blocks of steel and aluminum being machined milled full time for 3 to 4 months to get this stuff ready for production. And then of course you have to do the production. So basically where we're at right now is next week we start the tooling, 3 to 4 months to do that. Then we do a test run of all the parts that come out of that tooling. So we will have like the early production version around the end of the year, and then I think we can deliver the first batch in Q1 of next year.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
very exciting.
So, to compensate for those people who've been waiting a long time, I've offered, because the prices you see on the website now, they reflect the prices, including the licensing cost. For everybody who's ordered before that,
nice.
I'm paying the licensing cost. So it's the wait is going to be worth it for them, and it's going to take a little longer because our hands are literally tied legally. But we're compensating that by paying the licensing fee for all the pre-orders for them. Like again, for everything we do, I hope I show that it pays to back us early, and so it did for these people.
You definitely can't rush. You cannot rush perfection, and you guys are killing it with this. So it's worth the wait, man, for real.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
But I understand that people might be frustrated, and it's taking a long time. Warner is a big company. A lot of people have to look at this. It just patience since March.
It'll
happen, folks. It'll happen. Don't worry. It's gonna happen.
And I would tell you, like in the group right now, we have I'm a student of the master enabler himself, Jetta Patrol. So if he says I'm willing to wait for epic piece, then definitely, bro. Like I said, this like you're really setting the standards of to especially how pieces, and if you take your time and get everything right, like how it should be. I mean, that's huge. And the simple fact that you even listen to fans, I mean, that's incredible. Like I hats off to everything that you guys do.
I really appreciate that, but that's the way I would have wanted. I was always very frustrated with the big black box of the other companies where you don't know. And there's just so many good ideas in the group with everything that we've done. Like for the Justice Mobile with the Justice League conversion kit. I didn't think of that. That was the group, right? So there were a bunch of good ideas. So it's sometimes it's frustrating. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. And I'm very happy to have this group backing us.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you and I have been working together since my channel was tiny. So I have to say that I appreciate that you even gave me the time of day when my channel was a lot smaller than it is now. But it's been a pleasure working with you the whole time.
Definitely.
I've had a blast. Excellent. We do have a few questions though in the chat.
All right.
So, the first one, is there any die cast in the vehicle? Interesting question.
But not that you can see. Maybe there are going to be some what are they called? Etched pieces. For the small detail. I'm thinking maybe the radar antenna might be an etched piece. But we have to keep both the cost and the weight down with the low edition size.
I was about to say the hallmark of good engineering, or I should say great engineering, is making something as light but as stable and as sturdy as possible. Because anyone can make anything as heavy as you can make it out of a chunk of, make the entire thing out of a huge chunk of metal. And it might feel like high quality, but to make something super lightweight but also extremely sturdy, that is really great engineering. And I found that more recently with the Vulture, like I noticed that you specifically tried to make those wings as light as possible, so that they would be sturdy but also not completely destroy your ability to display the darn thing. So I have faith that even though, and I don't know why people are so obsessed with diecast, sometimes I actually think it has the opposite effect. It actually makes something less workable and less posable. So I'm hoping that this thing is when you see it in hand, folks. The diecast is not. It's not a thing. You'll be fine.
So let me address a few things. So with diecast, and I don't know if you've seen this with like the Iron Man figures, sometimes it's harder to get the details in there compared to
very soft.
Soft. So soft detail is an issue. We're planning on using actual rubber tires with the weight of a thing that's close to a meter, so somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in metal. That thing would sag. The axles would have
not to mention your display cabinet. Being destroyed by this heavy thing.
And shipping. I mean, we're talking close to 60 pounds if we did that thing in diecast. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, another question from Rob's Reviews. Will this have any sound effects?
No.
You know what? Create them yourself. Just put the record on.
Yes.
Look, if you have the record, even create it with your mouth. It doesn't even matter. Like, this piece.
Set up a motion sensor and have the 66 Batman theme song play from your speakers when you walk in the room.
Exactly.
You'll be happy. I think
you have your phone. You can just play it from your phone. There you go.
Absolutely. I think the less gimmicks. I've never been a huge fan of gimmicks and things just for the sake of there being gimmicks and things. They add weight, they add complexity, and they add to the cost. So for me, whenever I got a Batman figure like in the 90s, you'd get an 89 Batman, and then he'd have like this huge scuba tank apparatus thing that squirts water, and you're like, I don't want that. I just want the Batman. I want it to look like it did in the movie. So I'm right there with you. I don't think that it's no.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Yeah, and so because I hear you, Rob, it would be nice, but apart from the things you said with cost and all the trouble, the licensing would be a nightmare. So the rights and the cost for that. So lights, yes, true. But it's my wife.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
We're live.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah. All right. So people, you can go to the website.
Hey!
Dioramas.com. The passwords are gone. Just click on the Batman logo or go jazzingdioramas.com/Batman and you're taken to all the products that we offer. The first come, first serve. So if you want it as early as possible, we're determining edition sizes.
Now. Yes.
Yeah. We're determining edition sizes for many things this week. Of course, I'm going to make extras, so it's going to be available for a while, but we've had many disappointed fans for the 6-scale Justice Mobile. So, all right. So it's fun. That was my wife. So, where were we?
Yes.
That's exciting. Well, just before we move on to the next image, because the website is now live, we may as well bring it up and we'll show everyone exactly what we're talking about. So here's the website, jazzinkdioramas.com. You can hit the Batman 66 Batmobile right there in the center of the screen, and then you have access to everything. Oh, this looks beautiful. I'm really excited.
It. Oh, man.
Oh, yes. Check it out right now, jazzinkdioramas.com. All officially licensed. So keep that in mind. Whew. All right, let's move on to our next set of images. What an exciting reveal during the stream. That's really exciting. All right.
Yeah, you got the scoop, man.
I know. Someone actually literally just asked, let me see if I can scroll back up. Someone literally just asked, Bat Kid Beyond asks, is the Batwing 89 a subject today? Of course, the Batwing 89 is a subject today. Absolutely. God, look at that thing. Yeah, did you see that video that Adam Savage and Testa did with the filming miniature at, I think it was Prop Store of London that had it, or maybe it was just Prop Store in LA, but they had the miniature. Oh.
Look at my face. I am not a happy camper. Yeah, I saw that video, and after studying all the stuff that I could find, there were a few surprises. When I almost started the very expensive prototype for this huge thing.
Yep.
And then they showed that video, and remember when I said like 10 minutes ago, for some new designs you have to scrap old stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
So you had to scrap it. Oh,
I had to scrap a bunch of stuff for that. There was never before seen details.
Yep.
And so and
decals as well.
Exactly. But that's not the big issue. But for the molding, we had to do some redesign for the scissors. Who knew there was actually a little saw blade as well in there?
Yeah, I know. When that thing popped out, I was like, what?
Wow.
So that's going to set me back quite a few hours. So again, we're taking our time, getting it accurate, including that from that video that was just posted earlier this week or this weekend, something like that. This does not show all the changes quite yet, but it is pretty darn accurate already. It will have. So this is another thing where it evolved beyond what I had planned when I did this. So it has the movable flaps now. It has the Gatling gun that comes out, or probably it's not going to rotate, but you have the option to display it with or without, with the flaps open or closed, with the scissors up front or not. So, and then we had the canopy move but there were different versions of the canopy as well. So in the end, democratically, the group decided they wanted it the same as the Falcon cockpit, where with magnets you could just pop it on, take it off. So if you have the crash scene, you will see the Batmobile of the Batwing without the canopy like that. So if you want to display it in the crash position, when Joker shoots down the Batwing, then you can't have the canopy. The canopy is just gone from the screen after the crash. So we decided to go that way. It's going to have light up features. So the white stuff up front, those are going to light up on the bottom. And there's also going to be lights. And of course, there's going to be lights on the interior. I don't know if you have, do you have a picture of the interior?
There we are. I'll punch in. Let me punch in a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So
there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. And everything that's red in that picture is actually going to light up. So there's definitely going to be a bunch of lights on the interior. And you don't even see on the other side now, but the detailed cockpit, it will hold the 1989 Michael Keaton Hot Toys Batman.
Nice.
That will fit in there too, of course. I want to say.
Of course.
Yes, yes.
Well, I personally cannot wait to see this thing. It is beautiful.
It is.
The magnetic cockpit, absolutely the right call. Some people in the chat are asking for 66. Actually, it was Jetta Patrol asked back on the 66 thing before we get more into the 89 Batwing. 66 bat signal. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe I'm just too much of a youngster. I'm gonna look it up. But I guess while I'm doing that, Yost, is that something you considered 66 bat signal?
Well, I don't know. You probably have the bat signal coming, right?
Let me have a look.
It's
a fairly simple looking thing for back in the day. Okay, I know what you. Yeah, okay. Classic bat logo, very simple design.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
interesting.
What we've pitched to Warner is to include the different silhouettes on.
Yeah.
So the bat signal for many of the movies is actually a classic searchlight for the BBS.
Yes.
It's a 1942 General Electric searchlight that was slightly modified.
Yeah.
But that really works for a lot of the movies. Same look. So if we get, and they're not very keen on mixing the different Batman franchises, but if we get that, you have the different logos and it attaches magnetically, so that's there's going to be some metal stuff going on.
And I'm sure if collectors out there really wanted to, they could make their own attachment to go on the front of their bat signal to make their own version of Batman if they really wanted to, right?
Yeah, but
so
we are shooting for that, and I've been having I get a lot of requests, a lot of ideas, a lot of good ideas. Some of them might be in the works, but not all of them. And I can tell you we're very full up for the next 12 to 18 months.
Of course.
But so Jetta, for the 1966, I'm thinking if it is going to be the success that I think it is in terms of the support, that's not going to be the last 1966 product, and that's all I have to say.
Nice, because we have at least 2 or 3 people asking about this bat boat. So there you heard it. Maybe it's a possibility, but let's not put the cart before the horse, people. Let's stick with the car first and see how we go from there. So if you all want to see more 66 stuff, the Batmobile is the key sort of centerpiece for your 1966 display. That's the one you want to lock into first, and then, as Yost said, see how we go. A lot of people asking more 1966 stuff. Where were you when we were talking about the Batmobile, folks? As Yost just said, more stuff might potentially happen. But we want to move on to the 89 Batwing, or I should say, move back to the 89 Batwing. How do you have a rough size measurement as to the width of this thing? Because that's the biggest point, is the width. It's quite squat, but it's quite wide. Yeah.
I think let me pull up a site to make sure I don't tell lies, but I think it's around 140 centimeters in wingspan.
Okay. Yep. Over a meter. Okay.
Oh yeah, well over a meter, close to 1.5. So what is that?
Nice.
Somewhere between 4 and 5 feet.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty sizable.
It's big.
I know some people have said to me that they're going to do a printout of the moon on their wall and then somehow mount the Batwing in front of the moon. Oh,
yeah.
So, that's good to address. We're engineering metal buses in the bottom of the Batwing,
and to mount.
Yes, and we're adding like metal like a metal tripod construction, that it so you can both mount it horizontally and vertically on a surface, and it will remain securely. So if you make the poster, we will provide the stuff that you need to mount it on a wall.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah,
invisibly. Yes.
Yeah. If you have it properly done, and then you have it mounted with LEDs around the moon itself, it'll shine nicely against it. You know what I mean? That would be incredible, bro.
Like a light box. That's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, Colin.
It is, man. That's a really good idea, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all in this. I think we're all in this boat. I mean, I'm pretty sure every stream we speak about jazzing one way or another. I'm pretty sure every single stream that we do, we're talking about, we're looking forward to this, we're excited about that, where are we going to put this? So you're just rest assured that you are literally you're living rent-free in every collector's mind right now.
And their wives, no doubt, with all that stuff.
Yes. Don't worry about that. People are definitely watching. So, do we have anything else to discuss on 1989 Batwing? Anything that you want to say before we move on to the next couple of picks, Yost?
Yeah, so the Batwing, we were ready to do the final prototype, but as we said, for the people who joined us earlier, the Adam Savage video threw literally a new light on a lot of stuff. So we want to incorporate that stuff that nobody knew. There was nothing online that showed that sort of stuff. So that's going to push it a little more. But we're very close to prototyping, and then production can start.
Beautiful.
So this would probably be around a release around summer next year, with the first samples early next year. So the first that come off the production line, where we test all the molding, all the tooling, and we usually make around 4 or 5 that I always select a group that I want to have look at that. And since you always order everything we do, Justin, you're always in that group. So that's what I wanted to add for the 1989. Like I said, light up features, only one version. It will come with mounting materials.
I think that right there that's the key, because I know a lot of people have said, I want to mount it from my ceiling, I want to mount it from my wall. Well, saying that you're going to do it is one thing, but then actually having the ability to safely do it and not destroy the thing or your wall is another. So I'm super glad that that's a thing. Bloodsport asked, how huge is it? I'm pretty sure Yost just said it's 1.4 meters wide, and that's the biggest measurement. It's not as long as it is wide. So 1.4 meters. I don't know how long that is in feet, unfortunately, because here in Australia we use centimeters.
Inches. Yeah, good on ya. So I think it's close to 53 inches, according to my site.
Okay. Yep. So, all right. Perfect.
I don't know what that is in feet either, but.
Excellent. Okay, well, we shall move on to something that has already been released and is hitting a lot of collectors' hands. I saw recently that I'm pretty sure he was the lead vehicle designer or something, prop master for the film, actually has one of these, and he sent you a note saying that he absolutely loves it. Zack Snyder himself has seen this thing. I mean, it's a work of art.
We've heard.
Can I now make my new video on this, please? I want to show the people.
Yeah, well, hang on. So let me give you a little bit of background.
Okay.
So first off, so we heard from Zach, and for the people who love this this vehicle, you might have seen in the Blu-ray and DVD extras, there's a making of, and you see a couple of guys, Patrick, who's the head designer, and this guy is so brilliant. He was talking to Zach in a coffee shop. He got a napkin and he started sketching, and
of course,
I swear to God, it looks like that already. And then they got two guys, Ed and Joe, and they did a lot of the practical engineering. So from the 3D modeling and the building and all that, Ed and Joe were the guys who did that, and they contacted us after this was sold out, and we still had a wait list. Well, we still have a wait list, and their wait list converted. They ordered from us. We were so blown away, and they posted on our group with a picture and everything. So that's pretty cool. So we got 4 guys who were in on this, and they gave it the big thumbs up, which was, I was floating for a week.
I can imagine.
Like I said, for this one, we do have a wait list, because as long as people are still paying off, the wait list is a possibility. But right now the chances are slim that they will convert. Not none, but slim. You're actually looking at the 12 scale version here.
Hey, yeah, you're right, up there at 1/12 scale. It looks fantastic. It looks awesome. I know a lot of people. I wish I had my Mafex Batman. Not my Mafex, my Mezco Batman. He's in the drawer over there. I wish I had him here, because I reckon that guy's going to look beautiful right up alongside this vehicle. The BVS Batman and the tactical suit, both made by Mezco, would be beautiful alongside this thing.
If you have some more pictures I sent you, you can see the Mezco Batman.
There he is.
I think this is the tactical suit Batman from Mezco.
It is.
Suit. It's sitting in there. The canopy closes, and we've learned a bunch of stuff from the 6 scale that are now that is now going to be implemented in the 12 scale, and it's pretty close to as close as we can get to the 6 scale.
I literally thought it was the 1/6 scale until you pointed out that it is the 1/12 scale, and that's how close this looks. So 1/12 collectors, you're not being shortchanged. This thing literally tricked me, and I look at 1/6 scale stuff every day. So you're going to be just fine. But Recent Victoriano, interesting name there. I do hopefully plan, now that the stuff has been sorted out finally with Warner, I do plan on doing another review on this thing, because I've learned, like you learned a lot of stuff, Yost, on the production of vehicles and whatnot. I've learned a lot of stuff in filming the bigger scale stuff. Like the original reviews were okay, but now I have a completely different style that I think, and I'm going to say it, I'm sorry, it's going to do it justice. Because I know, I'm sorry.
No pun intended.
I'm sorry. I do plan on doing a new review. It's going to be way better than the original, so stay tuned for that. Now that I can actually do that, stay tuned. But what were you saying, Yost, about the lessons you've learned from the 1/6 scale version, how it's carried over to the 1/12 scale version?
Yeah, well, basically a lot construction-wise, and so I've talked about this before, but if you're making a vehicle, this one is even bigger than the 1966. So if you're making a vehicle that is around 4 feet or 105 centimeters, if you even have like a 1% inconsistency, that translates to a 1.05 centimeter gap. So we're talking tolerances that, and that's not possible, because we've got tolerances close to 1 or 2 millimeters. So that's less than a thousandth of the scale that in terms of tolerances, and all that stuff goes into these new vehicles. I don't know if do you ever get do you get a lot of 12 scale stuff, or don't you?
Yes. So recently now, I'm working with, Toys Wonderland has made agreements with Mezco, with Mafex, with SH Figuarts, and with McFarlane Toys, plus also Hasbro. So that means that I automatically get access to all of that stuff. So as of a couple of months ago, I've started doing 1/12 scale stuff. I'm pleased to report that people are actually enjoying it, which I didn't know if people were going to watch or not.
Definitely.
But yep, they are enjoying it. I just reviewed the entire McFarlane Justice League they're not really 1/12 scale, but 7 to 8 inch scale. And I do have that 3-pack of Justice League members, by the way, for everyone who's watching who wants to know if I'm going to be reviewing it. Yes, the 3-pack from Mezco of Batman, Flash, and Black Suit Superman. I will be reviewing it. But yeah, 1/12 scale is now apparently my jam as well, not just 1/6.
Yeah.
So,
well, then I must send you one of the very early production samples of this version.
Beautiful.
In about 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me get to celebrate. I will get my Mezco Batman out. He can join us on the stream.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So we took a bit of a gamble here because the tooling isn't that big, and we did produce the tooling for this one since we know it's accurate.
Yeah.
And so we've because
they're ready.
Yeah. So I actually have the first. Let me see if I can share my screen. Show you a picture.
Yes, you absolutely can. Yep.
Okay.
So this is another scoop then. Maybe you should fill the silence while I look for the picture.
Of course. I mean, I can't. I missed out. Like I said, I mean, it's crazy because I missed out on the 1/6 scale version of this. But this right here, like this, I mean, this could have fooled me as well. Like you said, Justin,
It fooled me.
Like literally, just looking at it, I would have actually thought it was the 6 scale version. Like but wow, I mean, just the intricacies and the detail in it is incredible. Like literally,
it's a great option for those who potentially don't have the space. So I know a lot of collectors, especially in Hong Kong. Ryan, I know, is a huge fan of the DCEU stuff, but because he lives in Hong Kong, he's just so limited to space that he couldn't justify having something that's that large in his collection space, but something that's 1/12 scale, that's more manageable. It's still a sizable piece. It's going to draw the eye, absolutely. But to have something that you can still pop confidently alongside your Hot Toys, because the quality is still there, but it's just a slightly smaller representation, I think is pretty good. And I think people will hopefully, when they get this thing in hand, be more than happy that they were still able to get this thing just in a smaller scale. I mean, I can't wait to pop this. And I don't know if it's just me or not, but I'm much more willing to put my Mezco Batman inside a 1/12 scale Batmobile than I am with the Hot Toys one, because number one, his outfit is full fabric, so he can go in there.
Articulation is not going to be hard with that at all.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And you can even go if you want to go for a Mafex Batman. He's not wearing fabric at all, so he's not going to be damaged putting him in any kind of vehicle. So you can have him in there forever, and it's a non-issue. So that's another thing that gets opened up, because there are so many more companies that make 1/12 scale stuff than there are that make 1/6 scale stuff.
Exactly.
Mafex, Mezco. So yeah, it's going to be awesome to see all of the combos that people have of which Batman goes in the vehicle from which company. I reckon it's going to be pretty exciting.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, I figured...
Yost has ejected himself from the stream. Don't worry, folks.
He'll be back.
I'm sure he'll be back in just a second. But
you're enabling me now, because I think I need to jump on Mezco, bro. I only had like a few pieces from Mezco, bro, but now like
some have been really impressed. Like this BVS Batman right here. I mean, it's full fabric. He's got his, his real pleather cape. You can pop him in the bat. This I don't feel bad about putting in a Batmobile.
Yeah.
But putting the Hot Toys one in there, I don't know. I'm just weird about it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yost, you're back. You ejected yourself from the stream.
Yeah, I had to do that to give the software approval for screen sharing. So
you're on. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So maybe you could zoom in, but so these are the early.
Oh yeah, perfect. There we go.
This is what we're doing now. So I want to tone down on the weathering a little bit, but just to give you an idea of the very early samples with the lights. So with the way this all fits, I'm quite happy with that. And of course,
tolerances look tight. That's nice.
Yeah. So So these are now in the works. This is where we're at the 12 scale level. Warner still has to approve the official packaging.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where we're at for the 12 scale, and I think that's why I said 3 weeks. I will be happy with the tweaking because we had some trouble with the decals, so we're doing a completely different technique for the smaller scale. And the approval of the packaging plus the first samples for that packaging, which puts me in about 3 weeks to send you that very early sample for review and feedback.
Yes, I'm really excited about that. I'll use my new vehicle filming style as well. Even though it's a smaller scale vehicle, it still works. For those who don't know, I don't have it here actually. I don't even know where the thing is. But I use, y'all in the industry call it a dolly, but it's also called a slider or a rail. So any pans or camera movements that you see in the videos are all the actual camera physically moving around the vehicle. It's not me just taking a video and zooming in or doing a Ken Burns effect. Yeah. So I'll actually give you a proper tour of the vehicle in the correct aspect ratio and without any lens distortion, because it's actually the camera that's physically moving around the car itself. Cool. So I want to try and see what that looks like, because I never got a chance to do it on the original Batmobile because I didn't have the technical know-how back then. But I've learned a lot in filming vehicles, so I can't wait to apply it to the 1/12 scale version of this, and I will re-review the 1/6 scale version of this, because that thing is a beauty. I have the base and the Justice League upgrade kit, so I'll do a huge, massive feature on that as well.
Yeah, good point. So for the people who don't know, and especially in the 12 scale community, so the idea from the community back then was, if you look at the BVS version, for the Justice League movie, they did some changes to what basically is the same vehicle, and so we're offering the Batman versus Superman vehicle, but if you like the Justice League version, on the website we have a conversion kit that magnetically attaches the parts you would need to convert it from the Batman versus Superman to the Justice League version, as well as the optional diorama base you see in the picture there. So if you go back one picture, I think you see the Batman. This is the Batman versus Superman. Yeah, because it doesn't have the huge anti-tank gun where the drive.
That's my favorite right there. That thing is just sleek. I love the BVS design.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say I like the Justice League because I'm not subtle.
Oh no, I'm right there with you. It's a beauty too. That thing is a beast. So I'm right there with you. But this guy right here, this is like they've taken the '89 Batmobile and just flick the modern switch. They've turned on RTX, and then this is what it looks like. This thing is gorgeous. Shall we move on to this piece right here? This is the 1/6. I literally just had to check in the top corner to make sure it was the 1/6 scale, so I haven't mistaken that you're working on a 1/12 scale one in secret and you've put it up now. But yes, the 1/6 scale bat signal with potentially interchangeable logos to suit your eras, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. So, addressing the other thing you said, the 1/12 scale Batmobile and Justice League Mobile are a way for me to test the waters. And if there's enough support in 12 scale, we will definitely be doing all the other designs as well. So make sure you get the word out. If the 12 scale community embraces us like the 6 scale community does, you will get the same treatment and you will get the access to the same stuff. All right. So this for the 6 scale bat signal. So we know it's based on the World War II signal with that one was on a frame with wheels so they can cart it around. For the movie, they made this from I-beams, this platform.
Some kind of plinth,
Yeah, and so that's where it's on. It rotates up and down, and there's a big light up feature, and it is not battery powered because we've done a bunch of experimentation just to make sure we get a sharp silhouette. And it turns out the technique in your iPhones with the the light, that's the way to go. We've used a lot of stuff, but as soon as you make the light bigger, you get a softer edge, and especially with these micro LEDs, as soon as there's more than one light source, you get a bunch of different silhouettes on top of each other. So you need a very bright, very small single LED at the right distance to get that.
Nice.
Yeah, and so it comes with a world power plug, so you can permanently light it up. And it's just too powerful for battery, I'm afraid. So,
well, that should be printed on the box. Too powerful for battery. I'm just imagining this thing projecting a bat signal on the wall behind me when I'm live streaming. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. It should be able to do that, no problem.
That does like it'll light up an entire room, like just.
It's quite bright.
Yeah.
I've had dancing lights in front of my eyes a lot when I've been experimenting with that.
I can imagine that be the case. Yeah. Well, the collecting community thanks you for unfortunately putting your eyes through that so that we can have a really bright and really crisp bat signal, especially when we project on a wall. I can't wait to see that. I've had a bunch of these like toy versions of bat signals, and they've always let me down. I'm like, I'm going to turn this thing on. I have a bat on my wall, just like in the movie, and it's
too bad. Yeah,
it doesn't look anything like. It's just like this blur. But now, I'm really excited to see what that looks like, lit up, projected properly. Finally, So a single songwriter has asked, by the way, just as a sidebar, where did Yost learn his engineering skills? Interesting question.
I was also a weird kid at school because usually you go into the arts or the technical direction, and I kind of like both, and I also always did both. And so for my college and university degrees, I found one that combined. So you get your engineering, what's that? Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor in the Arts, and then a Master. For both, and so that's how I can both do the technical thing and the design thing a bit. And I have a lot of help because I really cannot do this alone.
Yost is the Steve Jobs of the 1/6 scale community.
No. Steve had a lot of help, and but he was much more of a salesman. But anyway, I see where you're going, and. So like Steve, you needed a team to make it work. Teamwork makes the dream work and that sort of thing. So I speak both languages. I can do a bit of both. But I do need help. And that's where I got a huge supply chain built up from 6 years of doing this.
Nice.
Yeah. So hope that answers your question, single songwriter.
Yes, excellent. Do we have anything to add on the bat signal before we move on to the next DCEU? Are we calling it Snyderverse or are we calling it DCEU? I forget what the official terminology is. But do we have any?
I want to go with Snyderverse. Yeah, I have
one
thing
we'll
to
go
add
with that.
Here.
Yes.
Way back at the beginning, I said this thing would fit inside a DTOLF, but with the measurements I've gotten from Warner, it's going to be bigger. It's not going to be more expensive, so you're not paying extra, but it does not fit in a DTOLF anymore. Maybe if you rotate it perfectly horizontally.
I've seen people do some crazy stuff with DTOLFs, so, if you're a little bit creative, plus people raise and lower shelves as well all the time.
Okay,
so
if you do that, it will fit. Yep. Yeah, but in terms of height, just FYI. I wanted to add that. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, let us move on to this right here. I stream with Az from Heel vs. Babyface, another big channel on YouTube, and he's building an entire Batcave diorama based around your products. So he's got this on order, he's got the Batwing on order, he's got the Bat Signal on order, he's already got the Justice Mobile. So I know he's going to be very, very excited about this piece right here. This thing I can't imagine was easy to make, just because in the film I don't think it was easy to make either, because everything is suspended from the air.
Yep. And we're still working out different solutions on how to get there in a production type environment. Plus, with the DX version, we have to make it so that all the screens light up and cycle through the images. So
the actual screens, right?
Yeah. The DX version has actual
crazy.
screens. Yeah.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan also has this one on order, by the way. So Bob Dylan is also building out his 1/6 scale Batcave.
Oh man. I'm so jealous. I don't even have the space here in the Netherlands.
I don't have the space to do it either. Otherwise, I would. I have the space. I've ordered modu cases for this room, and I specifically told them I need space for my Jazz Inc. vehicles, and they have their own spot in the modu case. I gave them the measurements, so they have their own special place in the display. So it will be behind me, actually. All of this stuff is going. And I'm going to have the modu case all around me, and I should have the vehicles literally directly behind me. So whenever I'm streaming, you should see them, hopefully, if it all works out.
That's the way I say it. Like, this stuff was strictly designed for the modu cases, so thank you for that. Like, literally, thank you for that. Like, it is. I mean, this, like I said, the spacing for it, but I mean, you're getting intricate detail and stuff like this, man. Like, it's I can't. I'm blown away. I'm just literally blown away by what I'm actually seeing right now, man. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick sends in a super chat, by the way. First of all, thanks, Nick. Nick is a friend of mine, so you didn't have to super chat us, but a huge thank you for the super chat. He says, talk about quality. This is an interesting question. If there was ever one project to make in DC, no restrictions, which one would it be? I guess Yost, will start with you, and then Lyle and I will give you our dream DC projects as well.
So this is a question I've been getting a lot, and for my license, I have the license for 6 scale and 12 scale, but making a 1-to-1 scale of that that helmet, that tech cowl, that would be so cool. That's something. If I had no restrictions, because it's going to be hard and very expensive, and like I said, I only have the license for 6 and 12 scale. But yeah, so Nick. That would be my thing. The tech cowl, it came with one of the Hot Toys Batmans in scale. Yep,
the BVS. Yep,
exactly like that. But then the real thing,
beautiful.
Working. Yeah, that would be it. That would.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll see. For me, I would love to see. I mean, you've already made most of the stuff that I would say that I would love to see, including one that we're going to talk about later in the stream, which I'm very excited about. I would love to see the Robin suit chamber display that we see in the middle of the Batcave. I would love to see that in 1/6 scale, because I mean, you can clearly tell that that's his motivation for a lot of the stuff that he's doing in BVS. He literally stands there and stares at the darn thing. I would love to see that. So that would be one thing that I would love to see. Lyle, what about you, sir?
Okay, so this is a two-parter. It's kind of strange, but it is.
Here we go.
It's a two-parter. So it is going to be crazy, but I would actually, I'll use the simple one first. I would love to see like a diorama Hall of Justice roundtable, like that right there. That's always been like something that I would love to see recreated. Just for the value and just to see something like that done. But the second thing is just more technical, and that's to actually it is like it's more it would be which I would actually say just maybe a diorama set of the Batcave, of what I mean, just like with the water flowing, bro, like just the kind of
water feature built in,
bro, like just like a water feature built in, like just that, man, like seriously, like that would just put it over. Now I know like something like that, like a set like that, having it's a space grabber. It's something that would probably get you, kicked out your house.
Wall.
Exactly, an entire wall, get you kicked out of your house. Like you would have to, dedicate your entire basement to something like that. So, but it like literally that would be something I would want to see, definitely.
Well, I would want to see you having that. I would want to see that in your house. In your house, not in my house.
That's it. Have you guys seen the one? There's one on the group a while back who had a custom diorama made. Let me look that up, because you have to see that. That was
all right. I need to check that out. DJN says with a super chat, first of all, thank you, DJN. He says, I have all this wonderful stuff on order. Thank you, Yost, with 3 exclamation marks. And Justin, you're most welcome. I love reviewing this stuff, but I can't take any of the credit at all because all I do is point a camera at the stuff. It's obviously Yost that is actually making this stuff physically possible. So all of the praise definitely goes to Yost on that one. We do have a question from Colin DeLorean, a very fitting question. How about making a rear ramp diorama of Doc's truck from Back to the Future for displaying the Hot Toys DeLorean? Not the full truck, just a display piece. So like a cross-section, the back of the truck, I guess, and you can sort of have the DeLorean. Is that something? Is it strictly DC with Warner Brothers? Because they own Back to the Future as well, right?
Is that true? Yeah, because for now I did the DC. I have the license for the DC.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they are Warner Brothers. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Let in the chat if you know who owns the licensing rights to Back to the Future. Please let us know. And the last question before we get back to chatting about the picks from DJN, once again, another super chat. Thank you, DJN. It is very generous. Any chance of doing a Man of Steel 1/6 scale diorama / items, like potentially a suit display, I would imagine he's asking, and a Robin suit display from BBS? Yes, the thing that I was just talking about. Possible? Maybe suit displays? Is that a thing?
Oh, I've had that question a couple of times, and I really like the idea. So basically, for I don't know if I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I'm full up for the next 12 months. So
yes.
But what I like
Universal owns Back to the Future. Sorry, Universal Studios. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for correcting me. That's out, unfortunately.
With all the stuff that I'm planning, there's just so much queued up. So no, for now. No Back to the Future stuff. But what I like about the suit idea, the display, that's something small. And the stuff that we're doing lately, because it's requested, is all so big. What if you could just do something smaller that like that and in a lower price range, like the Bat Signal? So I would have to look at that next year. But I'm definitely open to that, and like I said, all the stuff, the good ideas, just keep them coming. So, can you share my screen again? So I want to show you.
Absolutely.
So this is the test that I've done on a. This is a 4-inch screen.
Yep.
So this is a 4-inch screen, and I'm cycling through the images that you actually saw in the movie.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yep.
And so this is the plan for the ultimate DX version of that Batcave computer setup.
Wow!
Yeah,
stunning.
Wow!
Yeah. So I have this working. You see with my finger, it's actually quite a small screen, but it's really sharp. It's full HD. And
wait! Hold up! Wait. Just a small screen. Like I thought that was, you know what? I'm done.
Look at my hand.
I'm done. I'm finished.
It took me a bit of tinkering, but they call me crazy on the group, and I like to live up to that reputation.
Wow.
Make it worth
Yeah, nice. So that thing looks beautiful.
I'm blown away. It is.
It just, and I've been looking for that picture of that diorama. I'm sorry I can't find it. So if the person who had that diorama made, I think it was a UK guy, please join because it was so cool. Anyway.
Yes, let us know. Send me some pics and I will bring it up on the screen if we are still live. We're going to be going for another 20 to 30 minutes, folks. So keep that in mind. If you are the gentleman or lady who has this Batcave diorama set up, please show it to us because I would love to see it.
Justice Batmobile,
Beautiful. Do we have any more things to add on the Batcave computer, Yost, before we move on?
No. So we're still working out some of the engineering challenges with the floating stuff. So check the website for updates. Join the closed Facebook group for updates for suggestions you can do. And as soon as I have news, I will, of course, show it to you, and as soon as we go into production, you're always on the group for on the small team that does the first pre-production sample check and feedback. So keep a close eye on Justin's channel and anything there. It's going to pop up early.
Beautiful. All right, let us move on to this beast. I mean, I was talking to you about this before the stream started. There was a gentleman who shared, he said it was a 1/12 scale version, but
I don't think so.
Surely not, because that thing was huge. So I'm thinking that was 1/6 scale. This thing looks beautiful. First of all, the design from the film.
Yeah, and I'm thinking we will. This will be like 4 modular pieces.
Yes, good idea.
No, 5. Sorry. So you got the central area, which could double as a bat boat, and then
yes, the shape of it is very boat-like.
Yeah, and then plug in the first part of the wings up until where the what are they called?
Do they fold like they do in the film?
Well, for now, let's figure out how to make it.
That's always the answer for now.
So let's just say no, and then I always try to over deliver if I can. It's always in the back of my mind, but for now, let's just say no.
Yep.
And then the front pieces. So and then that way we can break it up and ship it into separate boxes.
Yes.
But it's going to be staggering to ship. So be prepared for that.
Yeah, be prepared, folks, for some pricey shipping. DJN asks another question with a super chat. Any chance of Nolan's Dark Knight stuff in the future? DJN, if you want to follow up, what else would you like? Because Hot Toys is redoing the Tumblr, obviously. They're redoing the Bat Pod. To me, those are like the only, and I mean, they've done Bat, but that thing was already huge in 1/12 scale. I don't think anyone would have the space for it in 1/6 scale. DJN, follow up and let me know what else you would want from the Nolan trilogy. But Yost, I don't think you have any plans for Nolan stuff right now, do you?
No, but I do have the license for it.
Excellent. Colin, back on the 1966 train. 1966 Batcopter with rope ladder and shark. Yeah. How would you display that, though? Because you'd need some kind of apparatus to have it in the air, because you can't have a copter on the ground.
You would definitely have to hang that.
Yeah, and so to you two people, so you have the motor with side cart in 66. You got the bat boat. You got the bat copter. Of those 3,
bat cycle, bat boat. Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the most achievable and the most displayable and accessible for a lot more people would be the bat cycle. It's a good size for those who don't have space for the Batmobile. They can opt for this as their alternative.
Exactly.
If they don't want to go to 1/12 scale, they can go, okay, well, I still want something in 1/6 scale to display with my figures, so I'll get the bat cycle. Whereas the boat goes the other way. It's like, how would you even... You'd need to maybe do some kind of water thing to do it justice, because you can't just have a boat sort of just sitting on the side, right?
The side, stranded,
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to have a beached bat boat. And then the copter is an even bigger thing. So I think the cycle is the best second project potentially for 66, just for those reasons. And I think people are agreeing as well in the comments. So that's a good sign.
And so another thing I've been hearing a lot, I might look into the computers that you see in the 1966 Batcave to display around the 1966 Batmobile. So that's something that's always been in the back of my mind as well. So the Bat Cycle, but maybe even earlier than that, the 1966 computers, and that all really depends on how well it goes, how well the community supports these ideas, and puts their money where their mouth is.
Of course. That's always a challenge. DJN once again with another super chat. Computer/setup. Oh, he's followed up the setup from the underground lair, if you will, the underground cave from the Dark Knight. That's a pretty cool display. There's actually a tech YouTuber who has a review space that looks almost identical to the underground Batcave. His name... Unbox Therapy is the channel, and it literally looks like he's reviewing stuff in the Batcave. So I don't know why I decided to talk about that, but it just blows my mind. But is that something that you ever thought about doing, a diorama Batcave, like in the underground thing from Dark Knight?
Well, so like I said, if I just go by what people request, for Batcave, yep. I would definitely look into the 1966 stuff first and see how much we can do of that.
That's where the most momentum is right now. The back,
I think so.
There's where the most momentum is. Yeah, definitely.
I think so. McFarlane is doing 66 stuff. Lego is always doing 66 stuff. They had their ultimate. I don't know if they call it Ultimate Collector Series for Batman. They call it Direct to Consumer, right? The Direct to Consumer Batmobile, which was a beauty. And they're doing the cowl as well from 66 Batman. So it's definitely front of mind for a lot of people right now.
And
so
that's
yeah,
12
I
scale?
think you're right. The McFarlane ones?
Yeah.
I mean, I have their Batman. Actually, I have their Batmobile right here. And I also have their Batcave.
Oh, okay.
They have a Batcave diorama, and they also have a Batmobile. I haven't opened it yet. I think it is 1/12 scale. Because I've got the Batman here.
Right.
And right up alongside, the Batman's not great. I'm just spoiler alert for the review coming up. He's similar size to the Mezco. Okay. And he fits in his Batmobile here. Look, I'm pretty happy with it, but obviously this holds no candle to what we're discussing on this stream.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call them inaccuracies, but that is definitely based on the later stuff that's not seen on screen. Anyway,
this is obviously what we're talking about. The some extra computer panels and screens and whatnot. So I mean, something like that in 1/6 scale. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
I would be.
And if that's so DJ Nick or DJN, I don't know what it was. I want to go off of the success of the current Batcave and maybe what the stuff that we do for the 1966.
Yeah.
If we find traction there, I might consider the Dark Knight next. Like I said, I do have the license.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it would be after these first two, and if that's a big bust, then no.
Definitely.
Nice. And I think the same thing can be applied to you, Mr. Holbrook, with your super chat. Anything coming from 89 Batman and Batman Returns. The same thing like Yost just said about Dark Knight stuff, focusing on 66 for now, and then depending on how momentum of stuff goes, I think there'll be a big resurgence of Keaton era stuff when The Flash comes out. Because obviously Batman is back again, the original, the OG, Michael Keaton as Batman in the Flash movie. So I'm pretty sure new Batmobile is going to be seen in that film. Apparently it's a 4-seater now. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a massive resurgence of love for the Tim Burton era Batman film. So I wouldn't be surprised if, potentially we see more people requesting more stuff then. So hold the line.
I want to answer that with, for me, the 1989 is where it began. Like I said, what was I, 15, 16 then? I have a lot of love for that.
Yes.
And I have the license for that.
Yes.
So 2022, baby.
Yes.
Look out.
Bring it.
Look out.
Bring it.
Especially with the Flash movie coming. So,
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Colin has an interesting question. Could you offer some limited edition 1966 Batmobiles that are flocked? Is that do you mean like carpet or like the seats or like the whole thing? Is that
the whole thing? Yeah, the original, I've heard the original was flocked because of the glare. Like the 1989 Batman. So okay, Colin. Yes, I know that it was flocked because of the glare, which is why the 1989 was satin on screen, but people seem to think of it in gloss. And so I asked the group, this was last year, in a democratic vote, what do you want to see, accurate or do you want to see the glossy? And everybody had the 1966 and the glossy. It's in their minds that way. So we're doing that.
I heard that they flocked it because even actually on set, the camera glare and how they're trying to get certain angles. So that's where they came up with the idea at that particular time to flock it, which, makes sense to do it, especially if you're filming, with the net quality, not with the technology we have right now. Where
you'd notice.
Exactly. But back then, that was a good question.
Yeah, and so
I didn't know that. Flocking, I learned something today. I didn't know. Okay.
but the flocking, we've actually looked into this, and I was very happy that the large majority wanted the glossy like you see in our prototype.
Yeah.
Because getting the flocking to scale is the issue.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I don't think
of
so.
course. Yeah. Okay. I don't think I don't think people will be upset with that. I know I personally do prefer the gloss. I think the gloss, it's one of those things where in your mind's eye, that's what you imagine it. And I think as long as we can capture that and make it look as good as possible, then I'm going to be happy. One more question before we move on to the last thing. Arkham stuff. I've seen this come up a lot. Arkham Batmobile from either Asylum or from Arkham Knight. Was there a Batmobile in Origins? I don't know. But that thing is a beast. It's literally a tank. It converts into this massive tank. Is Arkham stuff, now that we have the resurgence of returns and that sort of stuff, is going to keep you very busy? Is Arkham stuff ever on the cards, potentially? Because you have the license. We know that.
Yep. I also have that license. And I asked the group earlier this year, what do you want?
First?
And I put up 2 pictures, the 1995 and the Arkham Knight. I was sure the Arkham Knight was going to win, but the 1995 won by a landslide. So that's the one.
And do you know why? Because that thing is a beauty. I mean, it's so toyetic. It's what I was talking about earlier. It's toyetic. Like, it was literally born to be a toy. Like, it was designed specifically to sell merchandise. And now that, like, I mean, come on. Say what you will about the movie, but Hot Toys is doing Batman and Robin. There is no better time to have the vehicle to go alongside them. And chicks dig the car. We know that much, right?
Yeah. And we're timing this to be close to the release of the Hot Toys figures if we can.
Beautiful.
All with the caveat that Warner is always the final vote on everything and can drag their feet. But not that they do, but they can. So so that's what this one is. You are correct that the Arkham Knight one is huge. So shipping, price it's all going to be a big issue on that one.
I've seen this car in person. It's big, but not, I don't think, anywhere near as big as a Tumbler or a BVS Batmobile, right? So I think this is going to be a nice option for those who maybe don't have the space to have this huge, massive BVS Batmobile. This one I think is a little bit more squat. From what I remember, it's been a very long time since I've seen this thing in person.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to the 89 minus those big Batwings. If you take them off, you're pretty close to the 89 in size.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, that's much more doable. And so for going back to the Arkham Knight question, it is on my radar, but I don't know what's going to happen with the Flash movie and the 89 stuff. That might squeeze in before the Arkham Knight.
I hope it does. Does.
That's all I got to say.
I'm right there with you. 89 Batman is my jam as well. I watched it when I was probably far too young to have watched it, but that was how it was back in the day, right? In the 90s, there wasn't this whole, like, nowadays, I have my friend messaging me, asking me, hey, can my kids watch Avengers Endgame? Is it too, like, violent? I'm like, what the hell? I grew up and I watched RoboCop when I was like 10, and it was a non-issue. But nowadays, it's like, I don't know. That Avengers Endgame is looking pretty rough. So I'm right there with you. 89 Batman is part of my childhood as well. They had reruns in the cinema when I was young, so I got to see it in the cinema, which is, I think, something that not a lot of people can say. So I'm hoping that the Flash movie gives us a lot of Michael Keaton Batman and a lot of gadgets and a lot of, as Joker said, a lot of his wonderful toys. I'm looking out for it. I'm looking out for some 89 Batman love. So
definitely.
We do have 2 more super chats that have come in. One from Mr. Holbrook. First of all, thank you. Batmobile from Batman the Animated Series. I think that's an interesting one because it's a very close design to the 89 Batmobile, except it's obviously animated. That would be an interesting challenge. Yost, is that something that you've ever tackled? And which Batman? I guess you could put the Mondo Batman in there, but he's got a sculpted cape, so it would be kind of impossible to do that. Is that on your radar? I think that's more niche, right?
Yeah, that's too niche. Now, like I said, I love the '89 stuff. I have the '95 stuff. Then maybe some Dark Knight stuff.
Yep.
We've got the Arkham Knight, so that'll tie us.
We got more coming. We got more Batman coming.
Yeah.
In 2022, we have another Batman.
Yeah.
Which we'll discuss in literally just a second. We've got one more super chat, and then we'll start talking about the future. We've got about 10 minutes left in the stream, and then we'll be wrapping up, ladies and gents. It's been amazing talking to you all, by the way. We've got over 250 people here. You all are fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sends in a super chat. Thank you. Hi, Justin and...
love the name.
And Jazzink. Yes, big supporter of the channel and a channel member. So a huge thank you for supporting as always, and hello to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have fun with it, Yost. So we've discussed all the stuff that is 100% coming. Something that maybe we'll see how we go is Robert Pattinson's Batman film, because he has an absolute beast of a Batmobile, and a bike from what we've seen as well,
and that looks
on
so
set
cool.
photos. Yeah, it looks real good. What do you think? Maybe, yes, maybe, I don't know.
So I was very adamant to include that in the license as well, even though it's an upcoming property. And it would be the first where we would tackle something before it was out, so it's a bigger risk. And so this is me, because I always lay all my cards on the table. I'm planning on reaching out to Howard Chan or whoever's in touch or responsible for this at Hot Toys to make sure we don't get our streams crossed. But I would love, because I always see myself as someone who just idolizes Hot Toys and wants to make cool stuff for their products, right?
Yes,
so
of course, as do we.
Yeah, and so I want to know where they're at. But I'm hoping that Hot Toys will show that movie some love, and that the people will show it some love. And if they do, I want to hear from the people now and later in the group. Do you want to see the 2022 the Batman stuff? And so, do you want to see that Bat Cycle thing?
Yeah.
Or the Batmobile, or both?
Yeah.
Or both.
I honestly think that we're going to start with the marketing. Once the marketing ramps up forward and people start getting more glimpses of, the vehicles, just the whole scale of the film itself. Once they get it, it's going to draw, more interest, and you're going to see requests, pretty much everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like everywhere you're going to start. I mean, I'm surprised. I know you've already gotten the requests, from the Flashpoint film, with that bike that they actually that they showed. Oh my God.
Huge thing.
A beast. Like, that was amazing. So I think once we get closer, and they start marketing and revealing some more set photos and stuff like that, you're gonna get flooded, like literally get flooded.
Yeah, I think you might. I mean, Robert Pattinson, I hadn't seen any of his later stuff after the vampire film, so I had no idea as to his range, if he could actually be a Batman. And then I watched Tenet, and he, in my opinion, like, I went in having no expectations of his performance whatsoever, and I came out of that movie like, wow, that guy is 100% going to nail it as Batman, both Bruce Wayne and Batman. I was captivated by his performance in a way that I never thought that I was going to be, because I had no exposure to his other work, because I'm a movie heathen. I just watch pop culture, and I haven't seen his art house properties, his art house films. But I was blown away. So, and of course, we got Matt Reeves directing. We've got an amazing all-star cast. So I think that it's a pretty good bet, just like James Gunn's Suicide Squad was a great bet as well. As for Hot Toys showing them some love, I don't know. Apparently, Ryan actually spoke to Howard Chan last week at the Neon Tech rave party that they were having. And Howard Chan said that he's watched some of my videos. So who knows? Maybe he's watching this video right now, and he's listening to us ranting and raving about showing DC some love. Please do. They deserve the love too.
Big fan. I'll be contacting you very shortly, and so we can, because Okay, I'm gonna lay it out there. Wouldn't it be cool if Hot Toys could do like a limited edition rerun of the 1966 figures to go with our 1966 Batmobile? Wouldn't that be cool?
It would.
That would be awesome.
I don't want to. They're already doing reissues right now, so why not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not? So I don't want to put him on the spot, but I'm going to ask if I get in touch with Howard. That's one of the things I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
So
that would be awesome.
Yeah. And for the
make Joker, goddammit.
Yeah, and Catwoman.
Caesar Romero as Joker, please. We love him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
so I'm right there with you.
I'm hoping 2022 for me is of course the year for some big releases, but in the terms of starting the design, the 1989 world and the 2022 are on my radar for now. For that,
beautiful.
Depending on how everything goes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we are at a 1 hour 30 mark in the stream, and we've been going. It's felt like it's been 10 minutes just breezing through talking about this amazing stuff. The best, most fun part of my day is always when we have these streams because we literally just get to sit back, relax, and talk about dope toys. And there's nothing better than that. Right, the stuff that we love, the stuff that we grew up with, and getting to reminisce. So it's been fantastic. But we do have to wrap it up because it's 30 minutes past midnight here. So I need to get to bed so I can stream again in the morning. And Lyle will be back once again. Yes,
I appreciate that.
We're back again. No, it's been an absolute blast. So I have to say a massive thank you to you, Yost, for joining us on the stream. And for the continued support of the channel. As long as I'm making YouTube videos, I'm absolutely honored to look at your stuff. So whenever there's anything that you need from me, just let me know. We'll do a stream, we'll do a podcast, or I'll do a review. I'm always down to assist wherever I can. So massive thank you to you.
Yes.
And do you have any closing words for the audience that has joined us this evening?
How many people are on?
We're 260 right now.
Cool. So I want to thank my mother, and I want to thank no. I just want to say to the community, you guys rock. I mean, we did it. I'm a fan. We made a group, and we literally, out of sheer will and support and belief in each other,
made it.
We've made something that's legit, and I hope that this is just a jumping off point because now we can reach a wider audience. I can start advertising, and the community is going to decide where this goes next. Like I said, in my mind, 89 2022 Batman, but who knows what else. So thanks, keep me on the straight and narrow, and until next time.
Excellent. I also have to say a massive thank you to my wonderful co-host this evening, Lyle, aka 1/6 Scale Man. It has been a pleasure as always. Let the people know where they can find you. Bob Dylan has already put your channel in the chat, but let the people know.
Oh yeah, they can actually find me on the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page. Also, you can find me on Instagram at the same name. Definitely, like I said, we're going to be on. I'll be back tonight with you. So it's going to be a busy day. Definitely, I'll be on Thursday night as well. I'll see you again, Justin, on Thursday night, as we'll have a special guest. Just tune in for like my Say What segment. Also, once I get this guy's down here, this genius, once I get this guy's product in hand, most definitely I will be reviewing it on the page. So just go ahead, if you haven't already subscribed to the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube page, subscribe right now. Like it's amazing community because we get a chance to have these type of discussions, and we get a chance to kind of just link up, put that positive energy out there, man. Like it's just like this right here. We create, like, we become like we're fanboys ourselves. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. This guy, this is like, I could say, all right, this is another thing I could check off the bucket list, because I've been like literally like when I got linked up to the page, I was just like, yo, like this is stuff that's simply amazing and it's breathtaking. And to have a chance to sit down and talk, I've already sent you a friend's request.
You got it, man. You got my help.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I have to say a massive thank you once again to every single one of you in the chat. You all have been amazing for your super chats, your regular chats, all kinds of chatting. It's been fantastic. Massive thank you for coming in and checking out the stream. We'll see you again at the stream in a couple of hours' time. Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, bedtime for me. I will see you soon. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next